Hi, I'm Ted Santos from Straight Talk, and we are the talk show made for men by men. Except, ladies, I promise you'll never want to miss us. And this Sunday, March 8th, I'd like to have a conversation. Uh, I'd say it's going to be an uncomfortable conversation. And this roller coaster ride perhaps is what this part of our society has us on. I'd like to talk about how we are raising little girls and attempting to force them to be little boys who grow up to be men. I mean, men and women were not created equal as much as feminists want to say we're equal. We just are not. The biochemistry of a man and woman are not the same. And if you force little girls to be more like boys, what are the consequences? And when you speak to some of the women out here who've been condemned over the decades for being feminine, for being girly, for even wanting to take on one of the most important jobs, which is to raise children, take care of the family. To take care of the well-being and health of your family has been seen as weak. So now here we are, we have women who are born to be female, and females have the biochemistry, the neurochemistry of wanting to bond and nurture. And to tell women that that is actually weak, powerless, not strong enough, not enough, to shame women for wanting to be what they were designed to be, you have to start to ask, is that child abuse? Is it abusive to girls to condemn them for wanting to be girls? I mean, they look at 10-year-old boys. 10-year-old boys are 20 times more likely to fight than 10-year-old girls. And they attribute that to the biochemistry of boys. And it's not just testosterone that's driving that kind of aggressive behavior. So do we want to now enforce and tell little girls, 10-year-old girls, that they all have to fight 20 times more? Is that really a crime against humanity to force someone to be something they are not? Does that make mothers or even fathers who think their daughters should be more boy-like, more man-like? What are we doing to women when we force them to suppress their innate, created, what they were created to do? What happens to them? Is that why we're getting women who are more likely to do heroin now? Drink, heart attack? I mean, the media isn't even covering this stuff. So what are the consequences to women? How does that affect the way they raise their children? And how does that affect our society? Is that part of what's putting our society on this roller coaster ride that has increased violence? Harvard Business Review said 70% of domestic violence is initiated by women. And most of the time, they're losing the fight. So let's talk about what we're doing to the females of our society and how is that affecting the rest of us. So this Sunday, March 8th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we are going to talk about the consequences of attempting to force females to be male. Is that why more women are becoming overweight? Because their body is not functioning as normal? Let's have this conversation. I want to bring a lot of women on the line who can actually attest to this. And gentlemen, let's talk about this. If we don't discuss the undiscussable, how do we resolve anything in our society? I'll see you this Sunday.